My great aunt Arizona. My great aunt Arizona was born in a log cabin her papa built for in a meadow on Henson's Creek in the Blue Ridge Mountains. When she was born, the mailman rode across the bridge on his big bay horse with a letter. The letter was from her brother, Galen, who was in the cavalry far away in the west. The letter said, "If the baby is a girl, please name her Arizona, and she will be beautiful like this island." Arizona was a very tall little girl. She wore her long brown hair in braids. She wore long, full dresses and a pretty white apron. She wore high button shoes and many petticoats too. Arizona liked to grow flowers. She liked to read and sing and square dance to the music of the fiddler on Saturday night. Arizona had a little brother, Jim. They played together on the farm. In summer, they went barefoot and caught tadpoles in the creek. In the fall, they climbed the mountain searching for galaxies and ginseng rocks. In the winter, they made snow cream with sugar, snow, and sweet cream from Mama's cows. When spring came, they helped Papa tap the maple trees and catch the sap in buckets. Then they made maple syrup and maple sugar to eat the candy. Arizona and her brother Jim walked up the road and wound by the creek to the one-room school. All the students in the grades were there together in one room. All the students read their lessons aloud. At the same time, they made a great deal of noise, so the room was called the Blab School. That's inside the school. The students carried their lunches in large buckets made of tin. They brought ham and biscuits. Sometimes they had a fried apple pie. They drank cool water from the spring at the bottom of the hill. At recess, they played games like tag and William Mattering Toe? I don't know. When Arizona had read all the books at the one-room school, she crossed the mountains to the school in another village, a village called Wing. It was so far away, she rode her papa's mule. Sometimes she rode the mule through the snow. When Arizona's mother died, Arizona had to leave school and stay home to care for Papa. And her brother Jim still loved to read and dream about the faraway places she would visit one day. So she read and dreamed. But she took care of Papa and Jim. Then one day, Papa brought home a new wife. Arizona could go away to school where she could learn to be a teacher. Aunt Susie invited Arizona to live at her house and help with chores. Aunt Susie made her work very hard, but at night Arizona could study and dream of all the faraway places she would visit someday. Finally, Arizona returned to her home on Henson Creek. She was a teacher at last. She taught in the one-room school where she and Jim had sat. She made new chalkboards out of lumber from Papa's sawmill and covered them with black polish made for stoves. She still wore long full dresses and a pretty white apron. She wore high button shoes and many petticoats too. She grew flowers in every window. She taught students about words and numbers and the faraway places they would visit someday. Have you been there? The students asked. Only in my mind, she answered, but someday you will go. Arizona married the carpenter who helped build the new Riverside School down where Henson Creek joins the river. So Miss Arizona became Mrs. Hunges. And for the rest of her days, she taught fourth grade students who called her Ms. Shoes. And when her daughter was born, Ms. Shoes brought the baby to school, to the sunny room where flowers grew in every window. Every year, Arizona had a Christmas tree growing in a pot. The girls and boys made paper decorations and brightened up the tree. Then they painted their tree at the edge of the school, planted their tree at the end of the schoolyard year after year until the entire playground was lined with living Christmas trees. The soldiers guarding the room where Arizona taught with her long gray brand wound round her head, with her long full dress and pretty white apron, with her high button shoes and many pecans too. The boys and girls who were students in her class had boys and girls who were students in her class, and they had boys and girls who were students in her class for 57 years. My great aunt Arizona hugged her students. She hugged them when their work was good, and she hugged them when it was not. She taught them words and numbers and about the faraway places they would visit someday. Have you been there? Students asked. Only in my mind, she answered, but someday you will go. She goes with us in our minds. That's the story of my great aunt Arizona.